Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about getting AK Legion. And there it is. I only got AK Legion after a really long time. Haven't really spent too much dedication on it, but you know, we did it. We finally did it. And I thought I'd give my inputs on how, or what is the best way of achieving AK Legion while getting a good amount of link skills and things and all that along the way. Let's go get our 8K Legion. It gives me 5 extra character slots from 7.5k. So essentially, today we're going to be talking about how really to best get 8K Legion. So I would suggest for players that doesn't have any Legion levels to first really start with getting level 2 links. And when we talk about getting level 2 links, we're talking about getting the useful ones. So things like, let me just go down the list here. Fury Unleashed, which gives boss damage. At level 2 it gives about 15%. Something like Phantom Link would be quite useful for classes that have low crit rate. Hayato, not so much. It's more of a training link than anything. Elementalism, which is a Kana link, is quite a bit of damage for your mains. Same thing for Luminous. At level 2 it gives like 15% IED. Xenon I really don't use all that much. I just put on my 0 because it's more of a training link too. Same thing for I think this is my Demon Avenger. Yeah, Demon Avenger, which gives 10% damage. So links like this that are quite useful, like Kinesis, this is Kandina. Ilium link skill I rarely use because I don't really find it useful to have as a bossing link. Resistance link is absolutely essential for bossing because you'll lag a full 5 seconds when you spawn in, so you're gonna be dead within each spawn if you don't have a resistance link, depending on how good your computer is and how good the servers are. Same thing for Arc, very good link skill. This is a perfect training link. Mercedes, definitely recommend getting this first to level 2. Level 3 it's not so much worth it, but level 2 is definitely worth, and I definitely recommend getting it. The Magician ones are pretty good for bossing. This is pretty good for training as well. Maybe even main if you really don't have enough crit rate, but I don't use it. Same thing for Night Lords, Bandit, DB. These links are really good for bossing as well. Pirates, pretty good for training, and Focus Spirit, absolutely essential for bossing. And BTs were hell to train for me, so I didn't like doing it. Now, once you get level 2 links done for like the useful ones, I guess your bossing links mostly, then you can start working on your Legion bonuses. So what I mean by that is something like a 0, which gives 10% EXP. This is good for training. Mercedes, not so much. Something like a DA, which we get from the link skill as well. We want to train this to at least 140 for that boss damage. I think you get 4% at 140. Something like Beast Tamer, and Kana is quite useful as well because boss damage. Phantom, not so much. It's not really needed, honestly. It's good for meso farming, but that's really not essential at this point. Critical damage from Hayato, Shade. Critical rates, if you have low crit rate, I use this for my Kaiser. Helps out a lot. It basically lets me skip out on the link skills because I have these crit rate percents. Jet, 5% crit damage. IED for Blaster. Wild Hunter, not super useful, but it's there. Buff duration for classes that need buff duration. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the pretty useful characters for Legion. Now once that's done, we want to get into the level 200s. So we want to try to get everything I just mentioned, the crit damage, the boss damage, IED, crit rate, all of those things to level 200, because that will give you the extra 1%, which does help, and I feel like that's the next step in. And then after that, we can have a training to level 140 for classes that are, I guess, main stat. So let's say if you're maining a Dex class, you would find it useful to train something like a Pathfinder because it gives 80 flat Dex, which I think doesn't get affected by the percent stats, but it's still, you know, decently useful. So that's pretty good. You could just train it to level 140, and then after that you want to train your links to level 3. So all the links that I mentioned previously, the boss damage links, the ID links, those you want to train to level 3, which is going to be 210. And then, you know, it's going to be quite a bit of time because 200 210 takes quite a bit of while. But I guess if you try to do it in one day, you can always do it from, I would say 8 hours, a range of 8 hours depending on the class and how funded you are. If you're on max multipliers, you should be able to do it within 8 hours, I think. But I personally just took a longer time than usual because I just took my time. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And then whatever levels you have remaining, whatever levels you have remaining, you want to just train, you know, the, I guess, non-essential classes and classes that you find to be fun to play or you would like to experiment. So something like Dana maybe, or like a Dark Knight possibly. But just keep in mind that only the first, or I guess I should say the highest 40 characters count. So if you have characters that are beyond 40 character slots, they don't really count towards the Legion level, so just keep that in mind, that only the first or the strongest 40 counts, just based on level and somewhat based on Star Force as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. It's just my personal take on what is the best way of getting 8K Legion while, you know, being somewhat funded along the way through link skills and Legion bonuses instead of just setting 8K flat as a goal. If you're just setting 8K flat as a goal, I'll just make like, I don't know, a bunch of kanas and you'll probably get there the fastest, but you don't really get any bonuses and it's just, you know, levels. That's really it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope to see you guys in the next one.